Hi guys! So I'm finally here to make some of these denim beads. Let's see if I can zoom on this. So this is the one that I have made. And here you can see there's the hole. It goes all the way through. So it'll be easy to string onto most any cord or thread or probably even some yarn. You could definitely fit a needle through there if you wanted to put it on yarn. So I've got a bunch of different things on here, and I'll show you just all the different things you can do, or probably not all, some of the different things you can do to make these little art beads. They're really fun. Okay, so I'll show you what I've got out here. First, I've got a couple legs off of jeans, a light colored one and a darker one, and I will cut those into little strips, and I'll show you that. I'll show you what size I make them. Then I've got some mesh, I guess you'd call it, very shiny sparkly mesh. You don't have to have this, but the idea is to use something that you can see through. It could be mesh, it could be tulle, any kind of sheer fabric like that. Then I've got a whole bunch of these novelty yarns. Some of it is fun fur, some of it is this ladder yarn, some of it is just really colorful and a little bit, I wouldn't call it chunky, but fuzzy, I guess would be a good descriptor. And this is similar to the fun fur, but it's a little like curlier, the little frizzies off of it. And this is in, variegated colorway, so that's nice. This is almost like this is more like flag yarn, I think, as opposed to ladder. It's got little flags hanging off of it. So yeah, I have a lot of this kind of yarn. I even have these little, my little bag here of small samples, like that I either got from the thrift store or traded with somebody. I remember, oh my gosh, it was probably 15 years ago, doing a trade in an art group where we all sent in, several different kinds of this novelty yarn, and then some person who was running the swap, made sure we all got a bunch of different kinds of yarn in little amounts. So that will be fun to use. So I'm probably not going to use all of these today, but this is just to give you an idea, what kinds of things would work well. I've also got some beads. Those might be too big. I'm not sure. I'll give them a try and see. But these little seed beads work nice. Where did it go? Where did I put it down, you guys? Well, anyway, there's a couple of seed beads on that one that I showed you. You could also do tiny buttons. Tiny things are fun. And then I used just regular thread, like this kind of thread, to string on my beads on the one bead that I showed you, to string on littler beads to the big bead. And you could use thread, you could use really fine yarn like this. I'm going to try this, see how that works. Fabric scissors, of course. And I am using this glue, but Fabri-Tac would work too. Although Fabri-Tac will leave it bendy, and I'm not sure if you want that. This, I think, helps it keep its shape a little better. I don't know. You could try it. I mean, that's all I did was try that glue and it worked really well. And then I'm using this little, I think it's a size 2 knitting needle, double-sided knitting needle. And I'm using that to wrap the denim around, kind of as the first step, to roll it up and wrap it around. I wrap it around this so that it has a nice hole in the middle to get through. So, I mean, you could use different things. You could probably use toothpicks. That's about the same. Well, it's a little smaller, but toothpicks would probably work good too. And you don't need a bunch. I mean, you just kind of wrap it on there with glue and then it'll dry almost instantly. This art glitter glue dries really fast, so then you can just slip it off and make another one. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I've cut out pieces from actually 3 different pairs of jeans. These were some kids ones that I had that had some sparkly on them. So I cut a few pieces with the sparkly, and then it's not all over, so there's some without it. So I probably won't use the copper sparkly on those because that would clash. We don't want clashing. So now we can start gluing them. I did a couple just to experiment, and you can see like this one, okay, as far as the measurements, they're about 1.25 inches tall. I think these might be a little taller, but I mean, you can make them any size you want. These are just what I chose. I want to make them a little bit big so I have room to put all this stuff on there. So this one is 2 inches long, you know, as far as this way. This one is 3 inches long, so you can see the difference. This one's much thicker, and I don't know, it gives you more real estate to put stuff on, I think. So I think I did the rest of them about 2.5 or so. Well, that one's 3. Okay, those are going to be big. All right, so then you get your glue, and let's start with the sparkly one. So we want the sparkly as much on the outside as we can. So let's start rolling from this edge, and then I just put the needle there, and then I put the glue down the sides and in the middle, and then we'll do some across the end here. And then to get it started, we're going to put glue, and don't worry if you get some glue on your toothpick or your knitting needle, it'll still come off. Okay, so now I want a little bit of glue on the other side of this. Okay, so that'll help it get started rolling. And then I just kind of have to moosh it. And I'll get some on my fingers. I don't think there's any way to avoid that. And then just start rolling it. And I mean, you know, you try to make it as tight as you can, but it's okay if it's not super tight on the stick or knitting needle, whatever you're using. And that should be that. Okay. And now I can just take it off. I don't really need to wait. And you can leave, I mean, this is not quite even, so you could trim it if you want. You know, take some little scissors and come in here, trim that off. But you don't have to. If you like the look of the little strings hanging off, or if you like, that's a little uneven. This end is kind of sticking out, so I'm going to cut that. I want it to be a little more even on the end. Okay, and then we've got some sparkle on that side, so that's nice. So let's see what that looks like compared to this one. It's longer. I made it longer too. So let's see. This one is 1¼ inches long. Okay, so let's just keep going here. Just make sure you've got the right side out. You know, the side you want on the outside, you're going to place down. And you put the glue on the inside. And now see, this is not cut straight, but that's okay. This is going to be on the inside. The longer part here will be on the outermost edge, and so it should just cover up that unevenness. I could trim it, but I don't want to. I don't think it's worth it to make it super straight. Whoops. And I kind of put this all the way down. I didn't want to do that, but it's okay. It'll still slide off. Oops. Now look what I did. I put it on the wrong side. Let's flip this around because this has less glue. I meant to put it on the outside because when you first start rolling it up, you want some on this side. Oh, I was going to say that this knitting needle is metal, so the glue does not stick to it. You know, if you get some glue on the needle while you're rolling, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It might be a little bit of a problem if you do it on the toothpick. I don't know. Let's try it and see. Since I have some toothpicks handy here. Okay, so that one is not very even. I think I'll leave it. I kind of like it. See on the end how it's kind of sticking out there. I kind of like it though. But I will trim this end. So I'll make this end flatter. There. I like that. Okay. Let's try one with the toothpick. See if the glue sticks to it. I'll do one of these. Okay. Let's see if I remember not to put it all on the inside. So if you don't have any old jeans to cut up, you know, you can find some at the thrift store for a few bucks usually. That's where I got these. And I mean, if you want to make a lot of beads, buy a bigger size of pants. You know, get more material for probably the same price. Okay, so I'm going to fold this top over into that glue, and then we're going to put glue on this edge. I was thinking it might be fun to make some little kits, you know, and sell them in my Etsy shop. Little fabric bead kits, art bead kits. I could give you a bunch of pieces like this, some beads, some buttons, some novelty yarn. Okay, so that is all rolled up. Let's see. No, it doesn't stick. I mean, I didn't get much glue on the toothpick, but it didn't stick. So that could work, you know, if you want a smaller hole. There we go. And I think I will trim this one. Okay. Let's do another one on there because I like how it rolls up more. So I'm thinking you could put these, you know, you could make some jewelry with them. You could use them on your journal, like as a spine decoration. That would be cool. Alright. Fold this over. Put some glue on it. That end. Alright, and then roll. It goes a little slower on this, I think, because it's trying to slip under me. But that's okay. Alright. And it'll fray a little bit, you know, from the edges, but I think that just adds to the character of the bead. Okay, so I'm going to keep rolling these up, and then I'll come back when I've rolled all of them and we can start decorating. Okay, so I found that it's a little too close. I found that it's easier to do it this direction, to roll it up with the front edge towards you. I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, but yeah, I'm sitting here. Here's my hand. And so I'm going to fold this over like that. And it's just easier to start this way and, you know, then put your glue on here and then roll away from you, I've found, than it is to roll toward you. So hopefully that will help a little bit. A little tip there. Okay, so I'm ready to decorate the beads. I've got them all rolled up, glued, and dried. Actually took a break for dinner there. And so I thought I'd start with one of these light colored ones. I want to do a button instead of beads. And I want to try these two. Oh, and also this one, I don't think I showed you this one before. I just recently got this and it's shiny. So I like to have something shiny on each bead. So let's start with that. Maybe we can thread this through the button, I'm not sure. Maybe not. Well, let's tie this on first. So the way I do this is I leave a little bit that I can tie with, and then just hold that on the bead and then wrap this around a few times, 5 or 6 times. Okay, and then we'll cut that with my scissors. Cut that, leave enough to tie, and then we'll just make a little knot. This is hard to tie. I actually tried crocheting with this and gave up. It's almost like working with chain or something. It's kind of weird. So it doesn't crochet well, and I'm guessing it's probably hard to knit with too. Okay, I thought I left enough room there to tie another knot. There we go. Okay, and we'll put a little dot of glue on it so it won't come undone, because I have a feeling this kind of yarn comes undone easily. So that'll dry clear, so don't need to worry about that. Okay, now let's use some of this yumminess. This is ladder yarn. It's actually like 2 little ladder things wide, so that's neat. So I will do the same thing. Actually, I'll probably cut these ends. I had an idea. Wonder if I can string any beads on this. Just like make a little bead at the end of the tie. Get in there. Oop, it worked. Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna let that bead fall all the way down, and then I'm gonna make a knot. I think I'm gonna make a knot. Try and make a knot at the end of this string. Come on. So I'm pulling it through there twice. There we've got a knot, and the bead will not go over the knot. So then we need to put a little glue on that knot. Just a tiny bit. Should do it. Go. See if I can, I don't know if I can get that one. That's pretty short. I think I'll just leave it on this one. And I will cut this shorter. Okay. And then we'll do the same kind of thing here. Leave a tail of a few inches. I'm going to twy. I'm twying to wind this around. I'm very twying. Okay. And cut. Alright, then we're going to tie this in a knot as well. Lots of knots.
if we can do this. So I've got one knot on that side. I'm going to tie another knot on this other side, and then do a double knot on this side. I'm just making this up as I go. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so we got a double knot there and then a knot on this side. Okay, so we need some glue. Alright. And let's see if we can add some of this. Wants to get away from me. I do like the fuzzies on here, so you'll see me using these a lot. Okay. Where did that go? So I'm doing it kind of at the end of the bead here, farther down than this. Not sure if it's gonna stay. I don't know. Maybe. Just seems really close to the end. We'll see. We'll see. We're kind of experimenting, seeing how much stuff we can get onto this bead. Alright, got a half a knot here. Yeah, that should work. And should I go around the other side? Yes. Let's do that. Okay. So it's kind of on top of the other yarn. That's okay. They don't have to be completely separated. It's nice if they all kind of run together. Okay, that is a knot. Right? I think I tied that twice. Some glue on it so it will stay. And then we should probably trim it. Maybe leave like half an inch. Come on. There we go. Now, put that in my little wort jar. Whoops, get in there. Okay. I feel like I should trim that one too. Okay, that's better. So that one's hanging off, that's cool. I like the colors in this yarn. Alright, and I wanted to put a button on, so how are we gonna do that? I think we're gonna have to use thread. So I happen to have this thread handy. Now, is this the one that breaks? No. Okay, good. Alright, so I'll just cut like 18 inches or so. That's more than enough. So I'm going to not put the button on right away. I'm going to hold the tail again on the bead. And which end do I want to put it on? I think up here, or we could do it in the middle. I don't know. That's kind of long. I should probably trim that. Yeah. Oh, but I really like that color. Darn. Okay, that's better. Get the tail of the thread, hold it on to the bead. So the tail, you just want to make sure you have enough to tie a knot, so you're not fumbling, fumbly fingers. Okay, and now we're gonna wrap it around the bead several times before we put the button on. This is in my way. Ah, okay. Start over. That's a good length. Now wind around. There we go. All that fuzzy stuff was in my way. Okay, now. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. I was gonna say now put the bead on and cut the string, but I already cut it. Okay, so since this has several holes, 4, I am going to go back through the button. Come on. Come on, button. Where are you? Okay. Okay, we got it there. So now I'm going to put this back through another hole. So we're securing it with 2 of the holes. If I can get it in there. Come on. There it is. Okay, and then I'm just going to wrap it around a couple more times. And I still have plenty to tie with. Okay. So then you hope that you can see the thread. Oh, come on, get in there. Okay. There, okay. So I'll pull that tight. Not sure why it went back around to the button. Thought I was tying it on the back. That's okay. Seems tight. Go ahead and tie it again. And it's going under the button, so that's kind of good. I'm going to tie it 3 or 4 times here, just to make it really secure. There we go. Maybe one more. Oops, that didn't go. No, no, no. Let's try it this way. No, come on. Okay, that should be enough. And I'm gonna go ahead and trim these pretty close. This is my art jar, and then of course a dab of glue. Just put it under the button where the threads are. That's looking pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I think that looks pretty cool. Very colorful. And I like that this is just one bead hanging off. Next time maybe I'll do a couple beads with that. I like the way this yarn kind of drapes. I don't know, it just reminds me of chain. Okay, I think, so we've got 1, 2, 3, plus the thread is 4 different things tied on here. I think that's probably enough. So let's move on to another bead. Let's do one of these that's got silver shininess on it. So we don't want to cover that too much, but we don't need anything else shiny on it, I don't think. So what thread shall we use? Maybe we could use this. It is shiny, but it's silver, so it kind of matches. And it's got like 3 different strands in it. Yeah, let's do this one. We'll tie it. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of got silver all over on this one. Let's do it at this end. So I'm going to hold that tail on here again while I wrap it around. Is that long enough? We'll make it a little longer. Okay. It's like 5 times around. Nice. And then we can cut. Tie knot. This is much easier to tie. Okay. Okay, a little dab of glue. Okay. Oh, come on, get in there. All right. What else? Should probably cut these. Maybe I'll leave them a little bit long. There. Okay, how about maybe some of this flag yarn. Sure. I'm hold these tails out of the way while I work with this other one. Okay, get a nice long tail on this one. Oops. And start wrapping around. Okay, that's about 5 times around. Cut it, and then we shall, let's do the tie on one side and then go around the other side. Okay. Go this side. And I'm going to try it a couple more times. Why not? Okay. A dab of glue. And how about a bead? Oh yeah. Wanted to try using this thread to put a bead on. This yarn, I don't know if you, I think it's yarn still. Alright, just gonna cut a length of that. And let's see. Oh, I didn't trim these. Right there. Okay, so we're gonna try this yarn that looks like thick thread and put a bead on that. So we've still got a lot of shininess showing through there. Not so much at this end. But I still want to put the bead on this end. Okay. So we've got a tail. Get these other tails out of the way. There we go. No. Okay. I like this color. Okay. Let's see. I want to use one of these, but not the green one. I want a blue one. Okay, so now we're just gonna hold this bead here while we wind that around. Okay, now I don't have to hold it. All right. Now I think we can cut it, cut the thread. I already cut the thread. What am I talking about? Okay. How long do I want to leave this? Cut it. needs to be cut more. Okay, so now tie it, and then maybe we'll put a little bead on the tie. I think it'd be really fun to do kits of this. I'm really thinking about that. It'd be fun to put all kinds of little stuff. You could try out on several different beads, you know. I'd give you enough materials to make several different beads. And you'd still have extra. Yep, I think I'm gonna work on that this week. Okay, will these go through the seed beads? Yep. We got one. Let's do another one. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Finally. I know that'll go through. Yep. Okay, so we've got 2 beads on there. I think I'm gonna tie those on actually. Yep, I have enough thread, so I'm just gonna wrap that around once and tie these on. So then we'll have 1 big bead and 2 small beads. And lots of blue. Blue and green. Blue and dark green. Hi, Winnie. I can hear Winnie clip-clopping behind my chair. Sorry, I can't pick you up right now. Okay, yeah, that looks cool. It's very messy, so if you don't like messy, you might not like it. But how could you not like it? Okay, so one more thing I want to show you, if you haven't figured this out already, is how I attach the gold mesh. And I had a piece ready here. There it is. Okay. So let's grab a bead, one of the darker ones, and I'll just leave a little overlap. You know, cut so it goes all the way around plus a little overlap. And I do usually do this first if I'm going to put this on a bead, because it takes up a lot of space and it needs to be on that first layer. Let's see. So then I usually use some thread, or I could use another novelty yarn, something that's not too thick, like this stuff. This looks like just long enough to tie, wrap around 1 or 2 times. Okay, maybe I have enough to tie this on. So you basically tie it on with something else, you know, tie something over the top of it, and that will secure it. Pretty easy if you have enough. If you have enough yarn or string, whatever, to actually tie a knot. Do I? It's hard to see what I'm doing here. Come on, you. Aha! Okay, there we got a half a knot. Let's do one more half a knot, and then we're home free. And these kind of match. That's kind of nice. Both kind of coppery. Get on
on there. Okay, stay. I'm talking to the yarn like it's gonna obey me. It usually doesn't. There we go. Okay, I got a knot. Yay! Now I can glue it. Make sure it stays closed. And then let's see what else we can put on here. Do some of that. I like this slubby yarn. I don't know if that's what you'd call it, but that's what it makes me think of. Okay. Yeah, I like that. And it's got these nice brown pieces that kind of match. Wrap it around a few times. Actually, that's not long enough. What am I doing? I need a longer tail than that to tie a knot. Think, think, think. Okay, that should be plenty. Yeah, now I know why I didn't. I wanted to do that so that I could keep this brown stuff, but nah, that's too close. That's okay. Probably like that. It's long enough. Okay. And we cut it. I've got so many yarns here in front of me. I'm losing working space as usual. Get so many supplies out and then you have no room to work. So hard. Alright, well that's good. I did get some of the brown there. Pretty close. Okay, now we glue that. Okay, I think that's, yeah, that's enough. Alright, so then we need to trim. I'm thinking I can get away with leaving a little bit of this tail. Cut off that much. Yeah, I'll do that. And that. And there we are. We have the nice sparkly trim in the background there. Okay, I think that one is done. What else? See, I think we've kind of covered how to get stuff attached. Basically tie it and glue it. And thread it if you're gonna use buttons or beads. So yeah, I hope that helped you guys come up with some ideas of your own. And like I said, I think I'm going to be working on making some kits to sell at my Etsy store. I'll let you know probably in the next video. And I think that's it. So let's go through. Let's do a little parade of our beads here. We've got a bunch of them because I did some in between the parts when I recorded. So just gonna line them up here. And then maybe we can do a close-up or a pan and scan or something. Got a lot of beads. It really doesn't take that long, you know, because there's not a lot of real estate on here on the beads. It gets covered up pretty fast. So there's those ones, and then there's these. Goodness, I don't know if you can see him. Okay, let's zoom in fact. There we go. So yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I will just see you in the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me as always, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and subscribe if you're enjoying my videos. Okay, see you next time. Bye.